Hey guys, my name is Ashwin. I am from Bangalore and I dance for a company called Nrityarutya Dance Company. It's been 9 years that I've been dancing professionally with the company. And before this, I used to work at an audit firm called KPMG, which is one of the big fours in the world. So as soon as I got out of college, I had this job in my hand, which was at KPMG, and I was there for about 6 months. Right when I was working there, I had a call from this company saying if I'd like to audition for them. So I went ahead and I auditioned and I started doing a couple of shows with them and all of that. So that's how my journey began with Nrityarutya. It's been 9 years now, like I said, and it's been an incredible journey so far. Like, whatever I am and I have learned so far is because of the place I was at and am at. So, to be honest, I am a total untrained dancer. I was never trained professionally, or I never went to a dance class until I joined the company. So, I used to dance in college, school, all of that, but I was never trained, like we say. I started training after I joined the company, and I started with Bharatanatyam, followed by yoga to body conditioning to contemporary dance to ballet to body conditioning to I think I said body conditioning twice. Aerial to what else? Multiple number of folk forms. So that's how my journey began, and I have been training ever since. And at the company, we believe in a lot of versatility, which is why the number of art forms that we train in are so varied and different. But a lot of it is also derived from classical and folk. So that's where our vocabulary comes from. Having said that, I've also had a decent experience in interacting with dancers. When I say that, I mean I've also auditioned a lot of dancers across the country with Nrityarutya. So a fair amount of understanding of how different bodies work, because I've also watched so many people move. It's incredible and fascinating to watch how different people move differently and what inspires whom. So that's been incredible for me to have been a part of at the company. uh, so when we say dancers here are very different from dancers outside, and when I say outside, I mean dancers abroad. In 2019, I had an opportunity to go to Paris and be a part of a dance intensive that was for a month. So that was my first actual opportunity to go outside of the country and be amongst people where there were dancers from all over the world. There were about 22 dancers in the room, and we were all from different regions in different parts of the world. So that experience for me was incredible. I think the amount of learning I probably had there by just watching, listening to people was crazy. Uh, it was crazy in the sense we're all so different in the way we think, in the way what each of us bring to the table, in a way how differently talented each of us are, and how our cultural backgrounds make a huge difference in how we think and what we do. Like, as Indians, where we come from, what we do, the madness, the craziness around us also makes us who we are and makes us move a certain way. I feel like we don't think very linear. We think very up and down. We think very like that. Whereas if I look at people who have interacted with outside, I think a lot of their thinking is also very linear. They're extremely talented, focused, and very keen on what they're doing, which is incredible. And it was great to see that how different people could bring in their personal elements and cultural and traditional backgrounds to the forefront of rehearsals or a performance. So I won't say we are very different in terms of our passion for dance or choreography, I think the passion is one thing that really, really connects all of us in a beautiful way. The only thing different is how each of us approach it, how each of us tend to connect to things very differently, and how we assess things and how we get things out of our bodies. It's, of course, each of us move very, very differently. Like, all of us move very differently. I cannot move like you, and you cannot move like me. Of course, we can imitate each other, but it is still not you, or it is still not me. So I think that individuality that each of us have is so unique and so different that we must retain it as much as we can and try to find our own language in this whole big, wide thing called dance, you know? I don't know how much sense that makes, but I think I'm trying to say we shouldn't lose our individuality as dancers, and we should always try and find who we truly are as movers. So yeah, what else? I think what I really learned when I was interacting with dancers outside was how I can be a little more minimalist in my approach. I like seeing things in a larger scheme of things, and things that are a lot more magnified and larger than life size, blah blah blah. What I thought was very interesting to notice and observe was how minimalism can also be as dramatic as all of the drama that I wanted to always create. So that's one thing that I really learned and observed when I was out. Then, so in India, I've also had the opportunity to work with choreographers from outside and have had the opportunity to train with dancers from outside. How I think their motivation is, it might not be wrong to say that their motivation is a lot more than us. I think as Indians, we're also slightly laid back, but yeah, I would say they're a lot more focused than us, and that's one area I think we can really do much better at, in pushing ourselves a little more, in wanting to do more and not just be okay with what we already have or are good at. So the zeal for things I felt personally in whatever experience I've had is that they are a little more kicked about their work. Not that we aren't, we are equally kicked and pushed about things, but sometimes I think we lack that thing, or we don't have it as much as they do, you know. I'm just thinking what else I wanted to say. Yeah, I think that's about it. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll see if I can answer them to my best. Thank you.